One of the funniest people I know, talented writer, stand-up comic,
Hey.
great actress, multifaceted, multi-talented woman is here, Courtney Cronin.
Oh,
You guys get a chance to read her bio? Good. Perfect. So hopefully you came prepared with questions. I'm just going to jump right into it and let her come up and read and go over the document that she created, which I will also send you guys
I'll fix the title
after.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Hi. Nice to have you. Nice to see you guys.
And there's coffee.
Okay, so I wrote this for all Lisa's students, and it's called 20 Things I Wish I Knew When I Started Comedy. It's because people ask me about working with other women and wanting to write for women and help new female comics, like why I want to do that and why I care about what's going on.
I turned off the thing.
It's
too
that's
hot.
pretty cool.
Too hot already.
It's because nobody really helped me. Like, no one told me, really. There weren't a lot of female comics when I started. I started 23 years ago, and there just weren't as many as there are now, not even close. So, you know, it was more like competition for that one slot. So the women didn't really help the other women, although Aisha Tyler helped me a bit. But there was no one giving good advice like this class. There was nothing like this for us back then. So I want to give back to you guys what I wish I knew then. So here are 20 things, and I'll make it quick. Number one, you must be fearless about trying new material at an open mic. Everybody in that room, usually it's mostly comics, we all know this, they are all, hurry up! I'm just kidding.
I deserve that.
Sorry, hi. We're just going over the 20 things I wish I knew when I started comedy, which was 23 years ago. Okay. So, be fearless about trying new material at an open mic. First of all, everybody else there is worried about themselves. They're not worried about you. They're not worried how well you're going to do, or they're not picking apart your material. Everybody, as worried as you are about your set, they are. Do you know what I mean? So just be fearless. Try anything. Doesn't matter. It really doesn't. You can do whatever you want at these things. Also, this is something that I'm guilty of now, like when I don't do comedy for a little while and I come back to it, something I forget to do is to be very present when you're on stage and be in that moment. You know, I think we all go over our sets in our head, in the car, or looking at our notes before we get on stage, but you can never really be totally married to exactly what you want to do because you don't know what's going to happen up there. You don't know what the person before you is going to say. Or maybe, like I was on stage the other night at Brea Improv and the flood warning went off. Actually, I'm sorry, Mary Gallagher was on stage and I was hosting and the flood warning went off on everybody's phones. You know, so she like left out half her set and did a whole thing about the flood warning going off on everybody's phones, and it was hilarious. So that's just an example. So just be present in the moment, you never know. Also, same thing, don't recite a monologue when you're up there, because then you're going to be married to every single word you say. I mean, yes, your jokes should be precise, but you should also pause for your laughs. You know, be present, be in the moment. If you're up there reciting a monologue, which I have been guilty of also, you're going to be, there's two things. One is you're probably not going to have the set you want, because the audience is going to see you reciting a monologue, you know? And two, it's hard to deal with anything that happens that might throw you off. You know, like if something funny happens that you could play off of, you're just gonna, you know, like someone's head could explode and you'd be like, okay, so when I was 5, like, you won't be ready for it, okay? So, also watch other comics. Watch them a lot. See who's on TV, see who's getting comedy specials and why. Like, what's unique about that person? And I wrote, learn from who inspires you. You know, everybody has someone they admire, and it's okay to not copy them, but, you know, obviously you're inspired by them, and watch as many people as you can. And I also recommend doing that live, more than just watching them on TV. If you know someone you really admire is at a club, go to that club, go watch them. Because you can always get in for free, by the way, comics can, most places. Also, own your own point of view. Don't write what you think you're supposed to write. You know, we all fall into that sometimes, like you think you're supposed to talk about this stuff. Write what you want to write about and what you actually care about. Because if you care about it and it's what you want to talk about, that'll also translate to the audience. Not like you think you're forced to write a Trump joke. If you don't do politics, then you don't have to do that. Just stay true to yourself. Also, if you think it's funny, then don't be afraid to try it. If you think it's funny and it's making you laugh, by all means, get up there and try it. Okay? Even if it's crazy, ridiculous, whatever, if you're laughing and it's making you laugh, try it. Also, if you're having fun on stage, then the audience is having fun too. And it really doesn't matter sometimes if you're killing or bombing, whatever, but if you're having a good time, we're having a good time. It's fun to watch someone having fun. Also, Ralphie May, the late great Ralphie May, I used to tour with for years and years. He gave me lots of great advice, and he once told me to say this to myself before I go on stage. He told me to say, everything I say is funny. But if we're comics, then that's true. Everything I say is funny. I'd still do that. I still say that to myself. And Barry Katz, who's going to be speaking in Lisa's, what are you calling the class?
Blockbuster Intensive.
The Blockbuster Intensive.
Blockbuster, get it? We bust our blocks. Any blocks you have?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I get it.
Yeah.
I want to take it. I can't get in. I can't get in. I talk to her every day and I can't get in this class. Barry Katz, who I've known for over 20 years, Barry gave me this advice, and I still use this. He said the number one thing you need on stage, the number one thing is confidence. You have to be confident because, you know, you show fear, then it makes the audience uncomfortable, and then you're just dead. That's it, you know? So he always used to say to me, watch Dane cook. This is when Dane was still fairly new. He'd say, watch Dane cook because he doesn't have standard material. He just goes off on subjects that he likes, and his confidence is what sells it, and that's why he would kill. Because in 95, 96, like, no one could touch him. Like, if he was going up and whoever had to go after him, they'd all be like, God damn it, son of a bitch. Like, no one wanted to follow this guy. He'd blow the roof off everywhere. So, I thought that was good advice. So, road gigs. This is number 10. Be easy and pleasant to work with. Be as easy and pleasant as possible. You could be the funniest person ever, but if you walk in and you're a douche, that no one's going to want to hire you again. You know?
No one in here is a douche.
No, I'm sure you're not. But like, I've just seen that happen so many times. Like, people lost work because of their personality. They could be a great comic, you know.
Yeah.
But if you're not the draw, you're not the star, you're the opener or the feature or the host, just be really pleasant, easy to work with. That goes a long way with club owners and bookers, okay?
Can I add to
yeah,
that?
please.
I was just listening to a podcast, and one of the comics said the best advice you ever got was to over-tip the waitstaff.
Oh, that too.
Because they talk about you.
Yes, they do.
And if they like you, they got the ear of the owner and the booker.
Yeah. I wrote that. I said, get to know the staff and treat everyone with respect. Because the waiter or the busboy, they end up being the booker. Like, that happens so many times, you know. Not that you all wouldn't treat someone with respect, but you never know, you know. And clubs are small, and especially when you travel these, you know, these small towns, it's like, that's all there is to do is go to the comedy club and everybody talks about it. That's true. The staff does talk about it. That's a good point. That's why everybody goes out and hangs out with the staff after shows, by the way. It's a pretty normal thing. Don't sleep with the staff. That's usually... Do not. That's a rule, actually.
No, jury's out. It's too soon to tell if he's like brain dead or if he's just a jerk.
Well, you could also be
Or
like,
both.
oh, I've been dating, and then I met this guy. He's not really my type. I mean, he's a former pro football player, and now he's a surgeon. But like, I don't even care about football, and I don't have health insurance. So like, what are we going to talk about, or something like that? Because he sounds great. Like, to other women,
Yeah.
this sounds like a catch.
Yeah, that's why I want
So
to
it's got
play
to be
with
some
it because it's a
ridiculously dumb reason as to why you don't like
Let's revisit it
him.
more, because there's more to mine up after. We're
Yeah.
going to go around again.
yeah, okay, cool.
No, that's
Because
okay.
I just feel like he's such a catch to other people, but I don't really give a fuck about any of that.
That's
so I
what's
kinda wanna
funny.
Play with that.
That's what's funny.
So I don't know if I lead with that and then do the I like nerds thing.
Let's take a break, guys.
I don't know.
Everybody went,
But
right?
thank you. Yeah, we'll revisit it.
I think that's 3 hours to come up with a 1 minute, 2 minute little monologue for her.
Wow.
So that's how much time it takes. So really less is more. Like, if you could rattle off all these jokes, but we can't help you. Sometimes it could take an hour to perfect one joke. Like, with all these brains working on it too, you know? So I would do less and then give yourself more time for notes and feedback and perfecting and punching up, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Let's go. Round 2. Are we doing this? Okay.
Next up, we have from San Antonio, Sky Blue Eyes and Lakeshore Miles.
Sky blue eyes and legs are all. That's
That was me.
that's great. You made that tattoo? Oh
No,
Oh, it's
somebody else did. It was a DJ back in the day when I used to perform.
wow. Sky blue eyes and legs are miles.
So who
I've seen her on the billboards.
Okay, so I love that joke about the dog toy and the hotel, but I don't think it quite worked yet. So that's one we can take a look at.
Tell it again.
I stayed at a hotel recently that has a dog theme. Each room has a plush dog toy, and if you take the dog home, they charge you $29.95.
If you take the toy home,
Yeah, if you take
don't
the
say the dog home.
if you take the toy home.
Okay, so you stayed in a dog-themed hotel.
It's like a normal hotel that has dog friendliness, and so then and they have a mascot. They have a mascot dog.
Dog-friendly hotel.
Dog-friendly hotel.
Yeah. Okay.
And each room comes with a stuffed animal,
Yes.
plush stuffed animals
Plush.
for your dog to play with. But
Okay.
if you take the toy home, just never use the same word twice
Got
when
it.
you're writing a joke.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, of course. Right. Okay.
You get charged, right? 25
Right,
bucks?
right,
And then what was your punchline?
That's the part I think needs some work. But so if you take the dog, if you take the toy home, they charge $29.95. My dog had sex with that toy. Sorry, it's just that he has two sex toys at my house too. But my dog has a very rich and full life. If you take my dog had sex with that toy dog 3 times over the course of my one night stay. So this thing was covered in my dog's semen. I did not craft the show very well, but I just got some basic things, bullet points here. And when it came and when it came time to pack up, I simply did not have room in my bag for it. That was like what I thought was a punchline there.
You didn't have
So,
Well,
but there,
yeah.
so this actually happened, right? It happened last week, and I was in the room with my brother. We both had a bed, and the dog, that plush toy was, there's a distinctive feel. It changes because my dog did his thing on it 3 times. And my brother said, well, I hate her boss, so just leave it. Just leave it. But anyway, so we got the room because of my brother's wife's sister works at the hotel, so we got the room for a discount. And then when I was like all in this, I was in a moral quandary, like I think I should take the dog now because my dog had its way with it.
jizzed all over it.
Jizzed
Yeah.
all over it. And then, so I was in this quandary and felt like, I should take this dog home. And my brother was like, I hate her boss, so just leave that dog here. But anyway.
I don't think you need all that backstory.
Yeah.
I think it's funny that you went to a dog-friendly hotel with your dog, and it was great. Every room came with a little plush toy, so for your dog to play with. My dog fucked it, or something like that. Like for my dog didn't play with the toy. He had sex with the toy, or something like you can get an extra laugh right there,
Okay.
and then go. I mean, the next morning it was sticky and hard. Like I don't know your act
Yeah.
very well, but if you talk like that on stage, I mean, you could say he jizzed all over it, or
I didn't
he had
know
his little
dogs jizz.
his little puppy,
I guess
his
I'm
little
not gonna do it
puppy,
like that.
little
It's like a dog hostel.
his little puppy swimmers were all over it, or whatever. Like a cute way of saying it. Like dog jizz just sounds
Yeah.
so gross.
Ew.
So like maybe there's a cuter way of saying that.
Yeah, it's much more of just a liquid thing. It's not like a creamy thing like a...
Oh my god.
Sorry.
Dog jizz is really
Yeah, we don't need to
tell this joke at all.
Yeah,
It's just,
it's kind of gross.
she's like, let's leave that joke behind. Is there anything that's memorable from the material that I brought up?
My dog sexually assaulted.
Yes.
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 And I just didn't want that dog to talk. So I took it. I couldn't risk the dog doing another Me Too movement.
Yeah.
The Me Tooing my dog.
Somebody could be recording.
Yeah.
You know what joke I think I do want to keep? I mean, I may keep that too, but, well, let me do this one more time because we said this one. So I never knew what I was coming home, when I was a kid, I never knew what I was coming home to with my mom. It could be her having sex with a stranger on the couch or a grilled cheese.
Yes.
Okay, so that one worked. The one that I was thinking of is the Disney one with the songs. I want to keep that, but that's from before. I can work on that and bring it back. Because am I out of time now?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I know, it goes fast.
No, it sure does. All right.
Good job.
Unless you're having sex. 5 minutes is a really long time.
But play with the toy thing and find a way to make it cleaner.
Okay.
Because it is really, really gross. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say this funny.
It is funny.
You're like,
but
it's really, really gross.
it is gross, but
Right.
there's
Think
something
about the
funny
maid
about the
having to
fact that
clean
it's
that up.
$30. I mean, that's insane.
know.
For a
They
dog
must
toy.
know the dog's
know,
gonna fuck
right?
it.
Yeah, it's like they
Or
make
come
it.
with a happy ending.
It shouldn't dress so slutty.
Yeah, right?
When I looked at that,
Dog was
Shouldn't
such a
dress so slutty.
Right.
That's
It's like wearing a dog collar.
that dog was such a
yeah, it
bitch.
was super sexual.
Something about how the dog was asking.
Actually, that's kind of funny.
For it.
All right.
All right. Okay, so my mom's name is Rosemary. That is Latin for dew of the ocean. It also translates in our household to the joy crusher. My brother and I also wrote a song. My brother and I wrote a song about it. You may know it. If you're happy and you know it, don't tell mom. I unfriended my parents on Facebook and they haven't noticed. I'm just like, bless you. I'm like, can't you at least like pretend to be hurt? Like I'm supposed to be. I ignored you first. I get really nervous around guys. I just freeze up. You know, I know what they're thinking. Why is that statue acting so weird? Don't know. Always freeze up. I just freeze up. Why is that statue acting so weird?
Why is that statue staring at me?
Yeah. What's wrong with that statue? Stupid.
Why does that statue have cleavage?
Why is that statue's tits so big?
Why is the statue acting like such a stiff?
Like it could just keep going.
I think that statue has real hair.
I love your mom stuff.
Yeah.
That
The
mom
Facebook
joke.
thing, let's see, the Facebook, you said I unfriended them, they didn't even notice.
Totally.
What if you just said I unfriended this girl on Facebook because my mom's a bitch.
I unfriended this girl on Facebook. She was like, it's just super mean and like kept saying rude shit, like, you know, rude comments on all my photos. You know, I was like, Mom, knock it off. Something like that.
Something like that.
Something.
I feel like my parents don't ever. They just don't notice me. Like I unfriended both of them on Facebook. And they haven't even.
And they didn't even know they called you.
Yeah, the real thing is like I unfriended them, and then I was like, oh, I feel so good, I feel so clear, and then like probably 6 months later, I'm like, wait a minute, like I haven't gotten an angry text being like, why are we in a fight?
Then that's it. Like I felt so good to just finally like, what is it? Like clear the slate or whatever. Like, so I unfriended my parents on Facebook, and it felt great until I realized they didn't even notice I unfriended them on Facebook.
Yeah.
Something I don't know. I think unfriending. It's like.
No, it's
just so many jokes about that.
the other two are stronger.
You could say I blocked them. That's
I actually
funny.
did block them, but that's the reality. But I don't know. The first two I think are stronger. Is the statue joke work? I want to.
It's cute.
Yeah, it's like a goofy one.
It's like a setup. I could see
funny.
it if something
I like
else
it.
after it was even funnier. I think it's cute for like the joke before the joke.
Oh,
It has to be in the right
Yeah.
place.
Yeah, it's not like the one, but it's the one before the one.
If I'm building on like how I'm awkward in dating
Yeah.
or like
Yeah.
something.
Yeah,
like
it's part of a
public.
longer bit
Yeah.
that
Okay.
you could build on, for
Um,
sure.
I'm just thinking if there's anything I have that I use that with that I could pull right now just to get notes, but I don't think I do. Yeah.
My mom's name and the song is Gold.
Yeah.
Yes, it's very strong.
I'm gonna put that for just like I'm saying out loud, so I remember. But I'm gonna put my great in bed, belts,
Yeah,
Yes.
mom, and that joke.
great.
Mhm.
What's your mom's name again?
Rosemary.
Rosemary.
Yeah, she was a model, and she's just like I don't know. She's like a strange person. She's a weird person. So I have so much material about her.
You have anything?
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, we're
good stuff.
Yeah.
I've seen you in this class, you know, for however long you've been here, and I just want to tell you, I really see improvement in you, and I see like
Thank you.
you growing.
A lot
so,
of growth.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
I
That's so
see
sweet.
it.
She's a really good writer.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
How long have you been doing it now, Josiah?
A couple of years, and then I think that the more I commit to it, it's just that I let work take over, and then I didn't force a writing schedule. But when I am in class, it's forced.
Yeah.
You have to do it. So
Yeah.
That's good.
it really helps me so much. Is why I do class.
No.
Do Lisa class all the time.
Lisa's like, I don't mind.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah.
It helps so much. I don't get stuff done if I don't.
I want to punch up one of my old jokes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm really close with my parents, and we watch a lot of old movies together. And my dad does this thing when we're watching movies that I like to call dad-splaining. We'll be watching a movie, and he'll just pause it, and he'll look at me and go, "Hey, Kate, you know what that is? That's a radio." Like, yeah, Dad, I've seen one before, but okay. So we'll go back to the movie, and then a few minutes later, he'll pause it again, and he'll go, "Hey, Kate, you know what that is? That's a payphone." Like, okay, Dad, we lived in New York for 17 years. I've seen one before. Like, come on. And then things are smooth sailing. You know, we're at the end of the movie, and he'll pause it again and go, "Hey, Kate, you know what that is? Yeah, Dad, really boring." And in that moment, I was going to get mad at him, and then I remembered he doesn't know things either. I went to the store the other day to get some stuff to make like an Italian dinner, and I called him up and I was like, "Hey, Dad, do you want me to get a baguette?" And he goes, "Small bags?" I was like, "No, Dad, a baguette." He goes, "Yeah, small bags." So I go home and I physically show him the baguette, and he points to the outside and goes, "Baguette." And in that moment, I was going to make fun of him, but then I decided to tell a room full of strangers and embarrass him that way. I need another. I don't like the end of that joke.
No, yeah, the boring doesn't work.
Yeah, that
yeah.
it worked for initially,
I
but
know, it worked like once, and then
then after every other show I do it, no one laughs.
Yeah, okay, you know what that is? Yeah,
Um,
this is really boring.
Maybe you could say like, you know what that is? And he said like sex. Like, Dad, don't rub it in.
You know, that
I'm not
is.
doing sex.
Yeah, it's
That's a payphone.
now he actually does, because he's heard that joke so many times. He pauses the television and he'll do it on purpose. Now he's conscious that he does it.
It's like what he's doing is annoying. So
Yeah.
like you could just
My husband does
pause
that
it.
too.
Hey, you know what that is?
Or what
Really
if the,
annoying.
or if the third one was like you saying, "Hey, Dad, do you know what that is?" He's like, "No," and you say something really bizarre that he wouldn't know. That's a pop culture reference.
Like a
or something.
millennial thing.
Yeah.
Hey, Dad, do you know what you are? Annoying. Like,
That's
try to
funny.
Yeah,
do
that's
all
good. Hey,
joke.
Dad, you know what you
That's
are.
good.
Anyway.
Yeah.
That's good.
Mhm.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
pause
Yeah.
it again, and before you
Mhm.
can talk, I say, "Hey, Dad," or something.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
And it misdirects a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
better.
good.
Annoying.
And the baguette thing usually.
Well, I would say tiny bag, first of all. I wouldn't say tiny bags, because
Yeah,
that
small
sounds like
bag.
one thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, Dad, I'm going to get a baguette. Oh, a tiny bag. No, Dad, a baguette. Yeah, a tiny bag. Like, you're an idiot.
Okay.
Say it back to you like that. And then I came home with the baguette and pointed at it. I mean, it is kind of funny. There is a bag around. It is kind of funny. And I'm like, no, Dad, this is a baguette. And he goes, I know, it's a tiny bag. I mean, it's a cute joke.
Yeah.
It's cute. I mean, it's not like, you know.
Like you can never be wrong.
Well, it's kind of like, yeah, it's just emphasizing that your dad is always right. Yeah.
Yeah.
The dad's playing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? I would pick up the pace on the joke. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's a long way to go
Uh-huh.
for a little tiny punchline. The longer you make somebody wait for a punchline, the bigger the laugh needs to be.
Yeah. That's good. I need to pick up the pace on that joke. I feel like it needs like a bigger end, like bigger laugh on the end, but I haven't, like there's like, I tell a room full of strangers and embarrass them that way, usually gets like a pretty decent laugh, but I don't know if it's like, big enough. If that makes sense.
So you could pick something else that
Yeah.
would lead him to say something like that.
Well, my dad thought Ratatouille was made with cheese because he watched the movie Ratatouille, and there are rats in it. They eat cheese. That is the reasoning.
I mean, you could say something like, yeah, my dad thought it was a baguette, which is pretty, tiny bag, which is pretty embarrassing. I mean, I would never tell anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would,
It's the same thing as saying
Never tell
I'm
anybody.
going to tell a
It
room full of
is.
strangers,
Yeah.
but it's quicker.
Faster, yeah.
I mean, it's so humiliating. I would never tell anybody.
Try that.
That's funny.
So it's, yeah, I mean, like, my dad doesn't know what a baguette is. That's really humiliating. But I wouldn't tell anybody. Like, that kind of...
I would never tell
I would
anybody.
never tell anybody.
More downtown.
Okay. I would never tell anybody. What word should I be emphasizing?
I would never tell. Oh, my dad doesn't know what a baguette is, which is so humiliating. For him, I would never tell anybody.
Just like, my dad doesn't know what a baguette is, which is so humiliating. I would never tell anybody.
What if it was like for my own sake?
Bless you.
Like to frame it like it's so humiliating for you that your father is so dumb.
So humiliating
I don't know.
for
I
him.
didn't really believe my dad.
So
doesn't-
humiliating for me.
Yeah, for me.
Yeah, my dad doesn't know what a baguette is. It's so embarrassing for me.
That's so
daughter.
embarrassing for me.
I'll try out.
Yeah, just try 'em.
them and see what
Yeah.
sticks. As was said before. Yep. Great. Thank you.
Are we going in
We're just going in the same order.
or after?
Well, Hannah, I thought of something for you. If you're gonna do the Jewish bit, I think, and since you have tattoo jokes, you know, in Jewish culture, you're never supposed to get a tattoo. There could be a funny thing. Just a thought.
You're not. He won't be buried in.
I used to say
Yeah.
something, I
Graveyard.
don't know how I set it up, but I'd say like, I can't be buried with my dad anymore. I said something like, thank God being Jewish comes in handy for something, like not being able to be buried. I can't remember how I got into the joke, but I'll
Cool. Just
try to remember it.
You were a chosen one until you got a tattoo.
Yeah.
Then God was like, nope, out.
I was thinking, because you said the Hannibal Lecter thing, I have a joke, I haven't done it in a while, but I might do it since I have another vegan joke, where I go, I'm a vegan, don't boo, I annoy myself as well. People always ask me, like, the question, if you were stranded on a desert island, like, what would you do? Would you, like, eat meat, or would you starve? And, like, of course I'd eat meat, but I'd kill my meat in a more humane way. I'd wait until you fall asleep. I'd smother you with leaves. I'd cook your thigh like a chicken wing with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. I'd do something like that.
Oh, okay, that's
I don't
cute.
know. Should I do that
Yeah.
with my other bit? I don't know.
I think that's good.
Okay. I just hadn't done it in a really long time. What else?
I'd smother you with leaves.
Just dumb. Okay.
No, that's funny.
Oh, I was thinking, so I went home for the holidays and my niece, she's in the 1st grade and she has a boyfriend and she's so obsessed with him. She's like, my boyfriend's name is Finn. and my sister and like her husband think that she's like dating and like in 1st grade, and she like went up to my sister and goes, Hannah and Grandma and I are gonna go upstairs and have our reindeer games, which meant like talk about him. And we like go upstairs and she goes, okay, Grandma, Hannah, let's talk about Finny. And she was asking me questions, and I asked her, I go, does he still have all of his baby teeth? I don't know. And then she was like, well, I don't know. I don't see any missing teeth. Like, she was so concerned that, like, she wasn't sure if he had adult teeth or not because he's 7 and she's 6. And then I was like, do you think you'll marry him? And she was like, well, I don't know if he's ready for marriage yet. Maybe in 3rd grade he'll be ready. I don't know. Something like, she's just so much about him.
That's cute. She's so young.
What if she's like, he's really not fond of the institution of marriage. Like when she just says some really big phrase.
Oh, that's
It's
funny.
an antiquated philosophy. He's not interested. He doesn't believe in the institution.
Yeah, he might not be ready for that
His
yet.
philosophy is
Maybe in 3rd grade he'll be ready.
That's funny because then it'll hit harder.
Okay.
Like you do the long drawn up thing, and it's like, no. Maybe in 3rd grade.
He'll be in the idea.
Yeah. Like take a pause there so we think you're done.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, she's just so boy crazy. She'll be like, tickle my knees, see I'm boy crazy.
Oh.
It's so, oh my god. And then she has like a song that she made up. Oh, I can't even remember how it goes, but she was like, Fanny and Madison are gonna be together forever. And it's so, yeah. Yeah.
How cute.
That is cute.
And maybe you could be like, how old is she? First
6.
grade?
Yeah,
6.
first grade,
wow.
6.
So I sat her down and I was like, listen, Maddie? Is that her name?
Yeah,
Maddie?
Madison, yeah.
Listen, Maddie, don't be a whore.
She did say, she was telling my friend and I about, like, I was like, tell Cal, like my friend, because I was like, this is cute. And so she's like telling him, and Madison, she goes, I had to tell him like 24 times that he was my boyfriend. And my friend was like, yeah, same.
I had to tell him 24 times he was my boyfriend. That's so funny.
Oh my god, that's
She's
funny.
so cute. She's like a little stalker in the making. So adorable.
What if you did it about yourself? And I was like, same. Like
Same.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted something like that because I was like, I feel like girls are always telling like, we're dating, right?
Yeah, or she could say, I have to keep reminding him he's my boyfriend. I've had to tell him 24 times. Yep. You know, or like,
Doesn't change.
yeah.
Same
Yeah.
Z's.
Samesies.
I like that word.
Yeah. Or like, and it only gets worse.
Ooh, yeah. She's pretty in love though. She thinks we're gonna be together forever. Okay, I think that's it. Yeah.
Cute. Love it.
I want to work on a new bit. So my grandmother's 92, but she looks 65. And if you squint, just like Carol Channing, but alive. And the first time my future dad met her, she said, "What do you think of my body?" And he said, "It's amazing." She said, "It better be. I paid $40,000 for it." So no wonder I need attention. She's hogging it all.
Wait, hold on. You gotta go back. I'm confused. Your future dad?
Yeah, I was trying to word it because I felt like if I said my grandmother and then I said my dad said it to her, it would be confusing because people would assume like, oh, are you talking about his mother?
Mine would just say my grandmother on my mother's side.
Okay.
Yeah.
You could just say that. And then when my dad met her the first time, she said, "What do you think of my body?" And then that works that way.
Okay. My mother's mother. I mean, yeah.
You could just say on my mother's side.
On
My
my
grandmother
mother's
on my
side.
mother's side
Yeah.
is 92, but she looks 60.
Yeah.
And the first time my dad met her, like that works. Like we know what you mean.
Okay. Cool. Anyway, I walked in on her the other night and she scared the shit out of me. Her eyes were wide open. And oh wait, I missed one of the okay, so sorry, can I go back? No wonder I need so much attention. She's hogging it all. But I will say she's a great audience. I went in on her the other night and she scared the shit out of me. Her eyes were wide open, but this time she wasn't laughing, she wasn't clapping, she wasn't moving. And then I realized that, oh wait, what was I? Sorry. Then I realized she's gotten so many bad facelifts that she can't close her eyes. She still has hair on her head. It's her eyebrows. Don't know. I feel like it could be something once I have it memorized and like can punch it up, but that's the idea. And it's all true.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
She was on America's Got Talent at 85 as a tap dancer.
Oh, I saw her.
I felt like the funniest part. You probably did. She's the two bits. She was like the.
Oh, but
her
you
and her
have to
dance
talk about
partner.
that. That's way more interesting than everything.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
SD Cooper. That's my grandma.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's funny when my dad says, when she says, it better be, it cost me $40,000. Or no.
Can
is
you
that-
put impression of her?
Yeah.
I would have to
Act out?
practice. Like I don't know.
Is
if I
she
could
a lot of
honestly.
bravado? Like, what is she like?
That's
She
when my
looks
dad.
like
That's
me.
when my dad
It
knew he
better
wanted to
be.
marry my mom. Oh wait, sorry. That's when my dad knew he wanted to marry my mom. Not because of what she would look like when she was old, but because $40,000, she must be rich or something like that. Because that's when he knew that she came from money. I don't know. That could be kind of
God,
funny.
you're
There's something funny with that's a
suffering
lot of
so much.
money, you know. Just
And that's also
Your
probably an
hair's there.
exaggeration.
but it's funny.
It's funny because
No,
it's
you're
so
not.
much
That was
surgery.
fine.
Yeah.
And she got it back in the day. And like the reason her facelifts are so bad is because she got them in the 50s.
Yeah.
Like they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. So literally, I'm not kidding, she sleeps with her eyes open.
Oh.
And I walked in, and this is a true story, and I actually thought, I started crying, and I was like, Booby, that which is Jewish for grandmother. And I was like, Booby, wake up, wake up. And she was like, stop, you're gonna mess up my fucking Botox. Whatever the fuck she said.
Oh my God.
Well, then that's the
No.
joke. My grandmother said so many facelifts, she has to sleep with her eyes open. And when I was a kid, I'd walk in to say goodnight, and I'd always think she was dead. Or something like
Right, but that gives it away. Yeah, I was trying to
or
do
something like that. I don't know. But I realized it's just because she said so many facelifts that she sleeps. I don't know. There's something about her
Facelifts
sleep.
from
I
the
think it's
50s
okay as a
is funny.
setup.
that. Okay.
Don't you, Lisa?
Yeah.
But then, I feel like the punch isn't as strong. Like, I was trying to set it up like it was a surprise.
What if
It
you said? What
wasn't
if you
really-
said? What if you were putting her to bed at night and you were like, "Okay, Grandma, well, good night. Close your eyes. Go
Yes.
to sleep." And she was like, "They are closed." And you're like, "Oh, that's fine."
That's funny.
Yeah. Okay, I could play with that.
Do the Sunset Boulevard thing.
Okay. I kind of wanted to ask in the beginning to the bit I did last time about my dad, and I say I'm a real disappointment. I said he's a DILF in the beginning. I don't know if that's funny or if it could be funny. Because,
I think it's weird for someone to call their dad a DILF.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, people call him a DILF, but
Yeah, people say he's a DILF.
yeah.
People
But
say.
is that even worth saying?
I've been told my dad.
It doesn't have to do with the rest of the bit you're doing because you're talking about him being a stoner and a Burning Man.
Yeah.
It doesn't have anything to do with it.
Okay.
I wouldn't open with that. I
Mhm.
would open with the second joke, and then you could say later. You could say, people say he's a DILF. A dad I'd like to fuck, but
Or I just kind of.
But I haven't had the urge to fuck in my entire life.
Or he's more like a dad I'd like to flee.
Okay.
I mean, if you
No,
didn't
we're-
have a good relationship, it would be a dad
That's
I'd like to
yeah.
forget. But you like.
I'd like to forget.
That's fine.
That's fucked up.
From my set.
Yeah, I feel like it just wouldn't be authentic for me to say that.
No, yeah. It doesn't fit.
You can pick it.
I could play on like him being so stoned that he forgets, but I don't know how I would tie that in. So
No, but you know what you should talk about? The fact that your grandmother was tap dancing on America's
Yeah,
Got
that was the
Talent.
most
Everybody was so
funny thing.
interested in that.
That was super interesting.
It is. It's very fascinating.
She's getting more.
And I remember her.
That's
She
why
does,
she's
she
getting
gets-
more
that's what
attention
it
than
is.
you.
She gets more attention than me, and
Yeah,
I was trying to do a bit about
Just
like
like
how my
she's
whole
been on
family-
TV.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Does she have a big following on social media too? Like,
Probably.
Yeah.
she's got fans.
Right, and I
everything.
tried to build, I mean, I originally played with that, explaining all the things about her, but then I felt like when I ran it by some people, they laughed more at the $40,000 thing, and if I said them all together, it was too much. Like, it was too long of a story.
But you can make a separate bit. You can do it as 3 jokes. The one about the body, then the one about the facelifts and sleeping, and then the third one is about her being on America's Got Talent
Okay,
as the tap dance. That's 3 separate jokes.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks guys.
Is she like really good?
Yeah, now she's 92, but she's still dancing.
Wow, that's amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Comes to all my
Still
shows.
talking about your grandmother. Does she live in Hawaii?
And we're still talking about my grandmother, I'm not gonna, so I'm gonna go kill myself. It's fine. She lives in.
See, we love your grandma.
Well, it's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't really have a dollar, I just have a dollar. I'm reading already. I have something where I don't really think of a dollar as a dollar. I think of dollars as potential Taco Bell burritos. So if something is really expensive, like a purse, I'm like, oh, it's $250. That's like basically 250 Taco Bell burritos that I could have instead of that. But I don't have, it's kind of like not part of something else.
Didn't you tell me that you're kind of cheap?
Yeah.
Do you ever talk about that?
I mean, I was having some, like, I learned it from my mom because she would like split a piece of gum for my sister and I, and she would make us split a burrito. But she always gave us our very own glass of water. I learned it from watching you, okay?
That's awesome.
That's a good one.
That's funny.
Keep everything you just said.
Okay, it's recording. And then I was thinking, wait, who had the... Oh, it was your niece. I was thinking recently, Miles just told me we were at ice cream with a friend of his, a little girlfriend, and before she got there, he's like, Mom, I don't know why, but I feel like I need to show Quinn my muscles. Oh my God. Like, it's just a cute mom story, really not a joke.
That's adorable. You
Okay.
could flip it like that's either really.
And you're like,
cute or
not
really
without
cute.
oil, you're not.
Avocado oil.
Okay, so I have to get the exact statistic, but I read, saw somewhere that our air quality is now back to the levels that it was in the 1990s. The 1900s, as my daughter said.
Say that.
She's like, Michael Jackson's from the 1900s. Can we listen to something? Can we listen to something for that? Okay, so yeah, so I'll set it up with whatever. Our current air quality is back to the level that it was in the 90s, like worse. We had improved, but now we're back to the 90s. And then it's just so cheesy, but doing something like black lungs back, all right, that's some moves.
Black lung.
Black lung.
Yeah,
The black lung.
It's so stupid, but it's good.
Yeah.
You do a little cough after it.
Yeah. Black lungs, or just, yeah, enunciate. And then I was just thinking about Backstreet Boys, and I was not a fan, and how funny their song really is, that they're honestly asking, am I original? No, not at all. Am I the only one? It's like, no, there are at least 5 other boy bands that came out this week, and none of us can tell you apart, except for NSYNC, because they have Justin Timberlake. And then it's like, am I sexual? and they have, like, I can't remember the gay one, they have the gay one ask that question. So I want to say, like, yes, and it's okay to say with whom spoiler alert, none of us are shocked when you come out. Something like that. So, anyways, some random thoughts. I heard a beeper.
I like you singing the song.
The singing is good.
I mean, there's some like
Very you did it.
Dancing part, yeah.
I would say when you go, am I the only one? No, there's 5 guys right next to you. No.
And then there's 5 other bands that look just like you.
Yeah.
Not at all. Next question. Am I sexual?
Aren't you 15? No.
Yeah,
Not sexual. He really was 15 when he sang that.
Oh, yeah?
It's like
And you're also like in a mummy
And all the
costume.
adults had them doing it. Let it be okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like
I'm
they
a
do
mom.
the-
I feel like I can't even watch this.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Something like that.
I didn't know that.
Okay, so maybe, I mean, it's dated, but I guess if I do
No,
like Black Lung.
everybody knows that song,
okay.
and you're singing it. You're feeding it to us, even if we don't know the song. You're feeding it to us, so it's a good bit.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm like, it's good. In case you can't hear me. Sorry, I'm yelling. Sorry, I'm yelling.
She gets passionate.
Listen to me. It's funny, okay? Listen. Use it.
Okay, cute. I don't know if there are other thoughts on other things. I'll just listen to the recording. Okay, thank you.
Nice.
Black lungs back.
Okay. All right, this is going to be a story that's way too long, so we're going to just shrink it down. So just try to remember the good parts, the bad parts, the medium parts. Well, you can forget the medium parts. All right. I'm nervous. There's just so much random things to say. Okay, cool. Let's just try it without looking at that. So we need to talk about the random people. It should not be allowed. Random people should not be allowed to hit you up who haven't spoken to you for the better half of a decade. Like, they just pop into your Facebook and it's like visual rape, not rape, something. You're just like, what the fuck? So this girl from my hometown messaged me not too long ago, and she was like, it's all misspelled, and she's like, hey Chelsea, I just thought I would ask, how are you going? Like, instead of doing, I was like, I just thought I'd reply places. She's like, okay, it's my 30th, it's my 30th birthday, and I don't know if you remember Graham Schultz. I did. She's like, but we've been dating, and he just broke up with me on my birthday, and I'm feeling like really inadequate and like really body negative and like really self-conscious, and I'm wondering if you could leave some love on my latest Insta pic.
Wow! Wow!
So I can feel better about myself. I want to feel empowered and like pretty, and I just like want to get a little action. Like, hopefully it blows up in the algorithm, and then he can like see me blowing up, and then it's gonna be like really good.
Oh my God!
And like, it's my birthday, I'm just like freaking out, and I'm like, okay, and she's like, and if you want, so like, please leave it some love, give it a heart, and like, if you want, you can even share it. I'm like, share it?
Jesus!
With who?
And by the way, who are you?
Yeah.
I know how your boyfriend broke up with you. I want to break up with this message.
I love those both.
I'm sorry your boyfriend broke up with you, but who are you?
I love all of that. Like, this isn't even a show invite to share. You know, it's bad enough if you invite me to your fucking one-woman show in New York, which I don't even live there. But, like, there's nothing to even share. And she's like, okay, well, anyways, P.S. thanks. And if you could just, like, drop a comment, like, it'd be super appreciated. I was like, drop a comment? Homegirl, you need to drop a boyfriend. And besides, you can't buy that level of fame, you idiot. I've tried. Something like that.
What's the thing that everybody like tries to get you to donate to their money?
Kickstarter.
Like
Patreon?
Look, I would rather donate to your Kickstarter than leave you a fucking comment. I don't know you. Like,
okay.
Because I mean, Kickstarters piss me off when
Yeah.
people ask for that. Is that the,
It's
what's
annoying.
the other one?
Indiegogo.
Indiegogo.
Or Patreon.
Patreon. Yeah.
Patreon.
Yeah, those are all.
Oh, GoFundMe.
GoFundMe.
Yeah.
I'm like, go fund yourself.
Yeah, can you
Don't
stop?
fund
Can you
yourself.
stop?
fund you.
Why are you asking me to comment? Can't you ask me something else, like to donate to your GoFundMe?
By the way, I'm fine
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, just talking about yourself the whole time.
I'm fine. Yeah. Yeah. Because that's the comedy. That's like you haven't spoken to them in forever. It's like I can
I
barely.
would print that out and read it on stage.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's
funny. Okay.
That's weird.
Yeah, pull it out of your back pocket and say,
Sorry,
and then read it
what?
verbatim.
Wait, sorry, I feel
So funny.
What?
When you say like, when instead of saying like I'm fine, being like, well my dad just died or something like that. Like do your dad stuff first and then do a callback to, you know what I mean? Something like that maybe.
Yeah,
You
maybe.
could hear into that.
Yeah. Or like, yeah, I like just being like, I'm fine. Like, it's just so one-sided. Do you like drop a comment, drop a boyfriend?
Well, she's the one who got dumped. It's like,
The message was all about like how like, oh my god, my boyfriend broke up with me and he said I'm ugly, he said I'm fat, and he said all this stuff. It's like so much information. So I was like, you need to drop a boy. Like this guy's but yeah, they're all crazy.
You're giving her good advice though. Like
Okay.
you should be like trying to get away from her.
Got it,
Or,
got it.
Like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I really like go fund yourself.
Go fund yourself.
After
Go fund yourself.
yeah, go fund whatever.
Something in there. Go find me. Go fund yourself. And I want it to be something like, when I look at the photo, I'm like, she's wearing like a off cream XL like top from Sears, wearing like sporting this like unbranded lotion packeted J. I mean, there's just nothing about this photo that's ever gonna reach any algorithm, or you know, if anything was gonna break this fucking algorithm, like it is not that. You are so far from ever being anywhere near anything successful ever. Oh my god! Like I.
so I left a comment. Don't ever contact me again.
I didn't
That
know.
is so funny.
I didn't know what to do, so I fucked her boyfriend.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know too much more. Yeah.
No, that's,
I would.
But after all that, yeah, Graham is single?
yeah.
Right. Okay.
There's a lot there. That's really
Yeah.
funny. Everyone knows what you're talking about. That's very relatable.
Okay. Is it too? It's like too long though, right?
No,
Well, if you're doing the girl and going, I mean, it's funny.
Okay.
Like we're all laughing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that one
Read
of
it
those
all.
copy and paste where they just like tell everybody like the same cut and paste, cut and paste, cut and paste
Yeah.
to like everybody to try to get comments?
Is that funnier, or if it's funnier if it sounds like it was really personal?
No,
Personal
to
Okay.
you
Yeah.
is much funnier.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
it really, that's a lot of work to
Okay.
pop up to someone that's a very histrionic, needy person. It's funny.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And just end it with one. It's recorded with one thing. The guys think
Yeah.
just to end it, just be like, and I'm fine.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
is
by
that
the way,
fine?
I'm fine.
Right.
You know, I mean, you could throw that in the middle too.
Okay.
I don't know where this is going to end because
Right.
I think you still need to work it out
Okay.
and have the list. But what you're doing is great. It's going in the right direction.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really
Cool.
funny.
The left a comment thing was so funny. I'm
Yeah.
like, left a
Never
comment,
talk to
don't
me.
ever
Never
talk to me again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that could be the out. That might be a good
Yeah.
out.
So
Yeah, I
funny.
did
That might be a good
And
out. Try that.
then we literally were like, and then I fucked her boyfriend. Like Lisa said. Like,
And then I fucked her
like the one
boyfriend.
too much. I left a comment, don't
I was
ever
the
talk
one-
to me again. And then I fucked her boyfriend.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
I think if I talk about my own boyfriend, that won't work.
Yeah.
So that maybe not necessarily
Oh,
my own boyfriend.
everyone knows you're
It's
kidding.
funny.
Joke. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Even if you didn't talk about your boyfriend, we'd know you were kidding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Like, no one thinks you can.
And they forget after
always
1
say-
minute anyway.
Just kidding.
Or you could be like, who's next?
So kidding.
Anyone? Jump up there.
Bueller.
We missed out on Alicia. She said I couldn't come tonight. I've been feeling under the weather.
She came to my house last night.
Oh.
Did she party too hard, or she really
You guys
sick?
know when the show is, right? You guys have a show coming up.
February
7,
8 p.m.
Yeah.
Flapper.
Oh, I
Flappers.
can't go.
When?
February 7th?
No, you?
Yeah,
I just
info at
wrote,
playtimedesign.net, but that should have been sent a long time ago.
Do you know when they're sending the booking email out?
That, they should have already sent it.
I didn't get it yet.
Yeah, info at playtimedesign.net.
I'll check again right now, but I don't think so.
Oh, here. Did they just send it?
Oh no, this is something else.
I'll send it if not, you'll probably run it.
Yeah, send it.
All right, Kelly.
Katie.
I'm not gonna do all of it.
I'm just gonna try this because it's been on my mind. But my name is Kelly. My friends call me Jelly. Because it every time you type Kelly in the phone, it autocorrects to Jelly. And what's crazy is as a kid, I always wanted a nickname until that became my nickname. I'm just like, and then now they've started shortening it to Gel. my roommates, they're doing it to be jerks, but they're like, what's up, Gel? And I'm like, could you not have picked the most slimiest, goopiest, nastiest thing?
But it's short for jealous, and that's what you are.
Oh.
Oh yeah, you did say that.
Perfect. Segue into.
Yeah.
But I have jealousy issues.
Yeah.
Are we doing this next week? Are we going up and doing? Okay.
Yep.
I think I'm going to bring that one in next week. But so I recently grew out all my body hair because I thought that would make me more of a feminist. But I realized, it didn't, and it actually backfired because I was went out with this guy and I didn't have any clothes because we were gonna do the thing, and he saw it and he actually was like, ah. When he saw my bush. And what's crazy is he's a special effects artist. So he makes monsters for a living. And my bush scared him. So I don't know what I'm trying to say here. So then I went, I was like, I don't even like this anyway. It's itchy. And then so I got a wax, and I do prefer actually being totally hairless. It just feels good. Right after you get a fresh wax, you just walk out of there and you're just fucking gliding through your day. You're like, I am aerodynamic. Just rub a little oil on, and just slip and slide across your boyfriend. It's fun. I know. But at the end of the day, though, I do. You want somebody that's gonna love you for no matter what. If the world is gonna end, and I'm I look like a cave woman, I'm gonna need to know that you're down, that you're still down. If there's an apocalypse, and in Pompeii when the volcano erupts and they found all the fossils of people. And some people were just hanging out. I want us to be fucking. If there's a part of that where it's if there's no razors, and we go rogue, we're out here in the. Anyways, that was a lot. There was a lot there. Trying to kind of.
I think it'd be funny if he sees your bush and he goes, "Whoa!" and you go, "I think I scared him."
Is he really a special effects guy?
Huh?
Is that true, or are you making that up for the joke?
Yeah, I did scare a special effects guy with my bush.
Well, then that's the setup, I think. I think that's the joke. I want to be... And then I actually... don't you think that'd be a funny, line? I scared a special effects guy with my bush. Or something I was trying to be more feminist, so I let my hair grow out. And then... it backfired? Well, it's just such a funny line.
It became a hairy situation. It's he makes monsters for a living.
Wait.
My bush scared him.
I'm sorry, say again?
Well, it's he makes monsters for a living, and a bush actually scared. His face was but he used to study dead people for work. And there's just, it's what is the configuration?
What if you say, I scare the special effects artist who alters people's body for a living with my own? I gave him the face that he makes on computers of other people, or something.
I was thinking, you could say he's a special effects guy.
So you'll see my.
And so and I showed it to him. To look what I made for you, because you make monsters and I made a monster.
I thought you'd love it.
What if we were hey, so what's the worst thing you've ever seen being a special effects guy? Your bush.
That. That
like
right
as
there.
it's like, you know, kind of foreplay, like talking, like, ooh, you know, and then he unzips my pants and he was like, that.
Well, you know what? You could just re-hit us with it. Like, you guys, I scared a special effects guy who makes monsters for a living with my bush. Like, if you just, like, come back with it, don't you think it'd work that way?
I mean, just yell it.
Kind of. Yeah. I have a problem with this. I do this at home where I'll just be having a conversation. They'll be like, "Why are you yelling?" I'm sorry. I'm just passionately caring about your joke. Sorry. And your bush and your giant scary bush.
I mean,
really
is there
funny
any
bit.
movies that he's worked on that you could say, like, he worked on?
He like helped make the Demogorgons in
Oh, that's
the Stranger
good.
Things.
Oh my God, you have to
He
see
made
that.
the Demogorgons.
Those are
for the
so
Stranger Things.
scary.
Yeah.
My bush scared him though.
Oh my God, that's
Maybe
so
you can
funny.
name 3 things he's done and just go, he saw my bush and left.
Oh, I
cried.
Well, I thought it was
His face was
Demogorgons.
so great. Oh.
It's on my bush and cut the hair off and use it for Bigfoot.
Ew.
Yeah.
I like the Demogorgon because that's gonna get a lot of laughs.
Yeah.
You're like, I was really
There's something,
inspired
it
by your
never
work.
hits the way I've been doing it. Like it hits, but like it's like I have to explain it to people a little bit more, and I just don't know what it is.
Because a
You
special
said it,
effect
you already
artist
said that.
wouldn't get scared
Mhm.
of something because he's, you know, I mean, it's not like, that is, I don't associate that with being scared.
You could say taken
The-
aback, but another
Shocked.
Yeah.
alliteration.
Can you say like a horror film
Yeah,
editor?
made me shocked.
He makes monster. He is like he makes monsters. Like more specifically, he can do like a little bit of other, but he like makes horror makeup. You know, that kind of stuff. But anyway.
Maybe
There's
live.
something there. It's
Yeah.
funny.
Maybe he was looking at it, looking at it a little too close, and you're like, what are you doing? He's like, research.
Oh my.
Oh my God, that's
That's
funny.
really funny. Okay.
There's a lot there
That's funny.
to at least play with. Thank you.
Nice job.
That's super funny.
Is this someone's head?
Yeah. Oh.
You've just been like staring at it.
This phone is so wonky. I hate it.
With the jelly nickname, maybe you could do the.
Doesn't it taste like that cereal, that cookie
Yeah.
cereal from
Yeah.
the
Study
days?
Destiny's Child, and then like here we go.
I like Cookie Crisp.
Mhm.
The fake cereal.
So good.
Okay, I kind of want to spend like the majority of my time just trying to figure out what the hell I'm going to say as my intro that like actually works.
It gets a laugh when you do that. I'm a basic bitch.
I want to get like a big laugh.
I've seen you do it and get a laugh. I have.
I know, like it works sometimes, and then sometimes like I don't know. I just want it to be like super consistent.
What nationality are you?
Like Norwegian, and like I'm like white as fuck, like European, like
It'd be funny if you were. What sign are you?
Aries.
Okay,
Me too.
So my name is Jane
Same.
Johnson. I'm an Aries and a basic bitch.
Yeah.
I'm.
Are you vegetarian or vegan?
Oh yeah.
You could be like, yeah,
I
say
mean,
what
like my
she
whole
said
thing
and
is
then-
about like yoga, whole foods, like vegan.
Yeah, I do yoga.
Kombucha.
I'm a vegan, and what was I? A basic bitch.
My name's Jane Johnson, so I'm a basic bitch.
Yeah, like I've done like, oh, my name's Jane, like, hi, my name's Jane, or I'm Jane Johnson, which is literally the most basic name ever. Like, I get it, things like that. And then what was the one that I just
That's like, are you a bitch? And I'm like, basically. Oh.
basic.
You guys have probably heard about me, so I am the basic bitch that everybody's talking about.
I think it got a laugh if you do it just quickly. If
Well,
you say,
well, we've come to the basic bitch portion of the show.
Yeah. Well, we've made it to the basic bitch portion
Ah,
of the show.
I like
Oh,
that.
that's yeah. Welcome to the basic bitch portion of the show. My name is Jane Johnson.
I
Yeah.
do yoga. I like
That's
crystals.
good.
Yeah.
I don't just do yoga.
I like-
teach it.
Yeah. Then you go right in.
There you go.
Welcome to the basic
bitch portion of the show, my name is Jane Johnson. I don't just do yoga, I teach it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, because I love, like, I want it to be like a quick one-liner and then start with the yoga stuff, because I always get a laugh on I don't just do yoga, I teach it.
No, that's great, the way she just put it together.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's solid.
Yeah. Welcome to the basic bitch portion of the night. I'm Jane Johnson.
I'm Jane Johnson. You should
I'm Jane Johnson.
My name is.
My name is Jane Johnson.
And I don't just do yoga. But I don't.
So, like, say the person's introducing me, blah, blah, blah. Like, so they're like, Jane Johnson. Like, do I need to be like, you heard it? Like, my name's Jane.
Well, do the basic bitch. That's right, everybody. My name is Jane Johnson.
My name is Jane Johnson.
What's your middle name?
Elizabeth.
That is really I don't even have a middle name.
Yeah, my mom doesn't have a middle name, and her name is Jenny Johnson.
Your mom's name is Jane Johnson?
Jenny Johnson, and she doesn't have a middle name.
Wait, there's a Jenny Johnson. My mom's name is Jenny Johnson.
My dad's name is Dick Johnson.
I mean, this is like so.
There's a Jenny Johnson.
That's ridiculous.
A comedian.
Yeah.
Jenny Johnson.
The Dick and Jane thing is funny. I've like played with it before.
That's very
for sure.
funny.
Yeah.
That's very basic too. You can be like, my mom's name is Jenny Johnson. My dad's name is Dick Johnson. That's right. My parents are Dick and Jane Johnson.
From
I
the
mean, that
books.
could get a laugh.
Oh, she's Jane.
Or I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My parents are Dick. Oh shit. Sorry. My bad. My
Yeah.
bad. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like
but,
those books.
I know you're Jane. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And with Jessica Michelle, we did like a penis thing of my dad. Oh, for the divorce stuff. Yeah. I have to punch that up still, but that's like separate. I haven't even like debuted the divorce stuff because it's like a whole nother.
Yeah, because basic bitch is not really a punchline; it's just a throwaway. So you just say it fast, get it.
Yeah, it just like sets up everything that I'm gonna do.
What's your Whole Foods joke?
Okay, the Whole Foods one is like I just started of like I love Whole Foods. I love Whole Foods because when you go up to the bulk bins, like you can just sample the merchandise. Like last time I was in there, I was just like shoving coconut chips, like deep throating coconut chips, like yas, like almonds, like not peanuts because I have a food sensitivity. like carob, I'm like yas, like not chocolate because I'm vegan, but like. Last time I was really naughty and having a cheat day and I was just like shoving chocolate down my face anyway. And I look up at that moment and I see a sign that says no grazing. And I'm like, what the fuck is that doing here? Like, I'm not a cow. And then I look over and I see a security camera and I'm like, oh my God. Like, I have chocolate everywhere. Like, you know what this means? They have my food porn tape. And I'm like freaking out and I'm like, oh my God, like my career's over, like everyone's gonna see this. And then I think about it and I'm like, you know what? Kim Kardashian got famous for eating chocolate. So why can't I?
I do have two friends that do Whole Foods binge food jokes. So I've
Who?
heard, yeah. I mean, it's different though.
We need
but-
to hunt them down.
I know. I've heard Whole Foods a lot, but
And what is
like
the name of the
binging
counter
from
called?
the bulk bins?
What's it called? Oh, bulk
The
bins.
bulk bins, yeah.
Okay, I didn't understand what you said. Okay.
Oh yeah,
Bulk
we can
bins.
make it more clear.
Okay.
Which is the trough for
bulk foods.
for middle America for those with a
Yeah.
paycheck or whatever.
Or it's the feeding trough for people who can't afford to be in Whole Foods.
Yeah, the feeding trough for people.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Oh, my favorite place to go out to eat.
Yeah.
My favorite
And like I
restaurant
wish
is the bulk foods aisle at Whole Foods.
Yeah.
That's funny.
The bulk foods.
My favorite restaurant
Oh
is
yeah.
the bulk foods aisle at Whole Foods. I don't know if you've been there, but they have that, and I go in there, and then you can do the whole thing.
Yeah. And I wish every time the no grazing part, like the cow part, like hit consistently because sometimes people think it's really funny and sometimes people are just like, what's happening?
Well, they might not know what grazing means. Who knows? But
Or a trough.
the sign
Is
has
that
not
your
been
opening,
grazing.
girl?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Opener.
So I can be really monologue-y, and I like memorize everything I write, so I'm gonna tell a story that I think has some stuff. So I'm married, and sometimes I feel like I just inherited this grown-up child. Like the other night, we were going to bed, and Eric was mostly raised by his mom, and I was mostly raised by my dad. So he has his like bougie, therapeutic pillows and his silk sheets. And I go in the room, and I look up, and in the corner of this room is this spider. And it's like one of those dust spiders that's dangling. And I was like, oh my gosh, look at that spider. And he's just curled up in bed, and he's like, oh, I know, I've been watching it for 2 weeks. I'm like, you've been watching that spider for 2 weeks? Why didn't you do anything about it? He was like, well, it could be a jumper. And there's like these moments, guys, I'm like, are you a woman? What are you doing? I was like, I'm gonna get the broom. He's like, no, you can't get the broom. I was like, why? He was like, I used that for the plants. I was like, what? So this big rainstorm happened, and we got these plants. By the way, plants are like another full-time job. They are such a hassle to water. And so all the soil went everywhere. And so he brought that kitchen broom outside and swept the soil with this broom. So now this broom is just filled with chunks of soil. I was like, what are you doing, Eric? So I couldn't get the broom. And I was like, well, we have to get that thing down. He was like, well, I think we should just leave it because it's spooky. I was like, oh my gosh. So I get this pillow. And there's some moments like I feel like just Tennessee comes out, and I just get the pillow, and he's like freaking out. He's like, you can never let the spider touch the pillow. So I start throwing the pillow at the spider, and he's trying to block it because he's concerned about his pillows. So he tries to block it, and when he does, he hits me right in the vagina. And there's this moment, and he's like, oh, he doesn't know how I'm going to react. And I'm like, oh. And it did not hurt, but I'm like, ooh, if I heighten this, I have some leverage. So I was like, oh, this hurts so bad, oh. And I was thinking of doing something where it ends like, and he's like, well, what can I do? And I was like, Vaquito Mas tomorrow night. Or something where it's like, oh,
you could kill the fucking spider.
Kill the fucking spider.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You could kill the spider. That would be great. It's 3 a.m, you know, whatever, I don't know. But it's pretty funny that, how long was it there? 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
That's a funny line right there. The spider there. Oh yeah, I know. It's been there for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Sorry.
Now it's squatting. We have no right to get it out.
I feel like there's funny in there. But
There is. It's funny about a man not wanting to kill the spider. The fact that it's been there for 2 weeks is really funny.
And it's so funny.
Reminds me of that Woody Allen.
Just needs to be very short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how does it start? What's the
Sometimes I feel like being married, you inherit this grown-up child.
You don't need any of that. Just like I walked into my bedroom, my husband was laying all cozied up in his pillow, and I saw a huge spider dangling. And I said, honey, there's this huge spider. He goes, oh yeah, I've been watching it for 2 weeks. Boom, you're in.
That's a laugh.
That's the laugh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's helpful.
Yeah.
And then, why haven't you killed it?
Yeah, you should say that. Like, yeah, and why haven't you?
And then
killed it?
and he says, well, it may be a jumper.
Yes!
That's what he said, right?
That's exactly what he said.
What does that even mean?
A jumping
He's
spider,
gonna
if he gets
jump
near it, it'll jump on him.
Because he says he's had jumpers before.
Well, if you want me to
That's
jump
what-
on
that's
you,
what
you better
get.
kill the spider.
Yes. Yeah.
Something like
Okay.
that.
Okay, it's happened before. Well, now he's a squatter.
Right now he's a squatter.
Okay.
2 weeks, we don't even have the right to remove it.
That's good.
Should I call the landlord?
You're not allowed to have pets.
It's my service spider.
And the landlord thinks the landlord's quite funny. He thinks he doesn't know we're married because we're never there at the same time. So he thinks Eric's gay because Eric does editing, so he'll edit for different guys. And at one point he told me 3 different men came over, and we have this great friend Joe, and he's very flamboyant. This tall black guy, very flamboyant. He's like, "Oh, Eric, I can't wait to see my film." And then he ran into Jim. Jim was like, "Eric, you have a lot of male friends." And Eric's very reserved, so he's just like, "I know." I'm like, "Eric, say something."
I just thought of a joke, but it's so dated. It's like, my marriage is like an episode of Three's Company.
That's what I thought.
Oh!
But it's such a dated reference. I mean,
I
if you're
love
doing
that
a cruise
show.
ship, it would kill. But, I don't know.
she said that being like, I said, three kind of big, well, if it was a cruise ship, that would have killed. Like, what you just said.
Pretty funny.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
That's funny.
That is kind of
Because it's so dangerous.
Anybody over 35 knows that reference. Nice
Good
job.
job.
Nice job.
Good job, everybody. Good work tonight. I felt it went very, very well tonight. Everybody.
A lot of jokes.
Yeah, well, everybody brought in a lot. That was great. So next week is our last week of class.
Oh my god.
I know. So bring in your set that you want to do.
Oh, the whole thing?
The following week, yeah. Okay. And Jessica Michelle Singleton's coming back.
Oh, yeah.
You guys requested her, and she's back.
Yay.
So she will help punch up the sets.
That's amazing.
7-minute set.
Yeah. You get to do 7. If you want, you don't have to, but you get 7.
Awesome.
Yeah. And your vision boards, I'd like to see them.
Oh yeah!
Bring them in next week.
Oh my god, I'm such a stalker now. I went on a date on Sunday and I printed off a photo of him and I put it on my vision board.
Wait, you need to say that.
And then you have to take it down when he comes over. Then what do? You're like
that'd be funny
standing.
if you're like, I get a picture of you, and he's like, what for? My vision board.
You should put that in your material. That's funny.
I don't know.
Creepy.
I don't know.
I'm playing the long game with him.
Kiss your master?
Oh. So I'll bring it.
Everything about it.
Tonight?
It's more like it's
Oh,
just
you get to
about
lunch
like
by 10?
I
Oh, in
wrote
the
down a
morning.
list of all the things and like a guy that I wanted or whatever.
I don't
And then
know.
like
Yeah.
over a year later.
Well, you're going against the traffic, but by the time you get past the airport, you can leave it in the
It
traffic.
was just a first date and I
I would leave
probably
at
talked to her
8:30.
for another
What kind of
You never wake up that early. This is crazy.
I'm like honestly, if it's not easy, it's just the idea that there is someone out there like him that is single.
Is he from
here? You know what I mean?
Divorce court.
Well, we have like the Midwest
Thank you.
ties a little bit, which is nice. But he grew up in like San Diego since he was like 12 or something. But like his family.
I can't remember. It's weird for me to get up early. I never know.
I'm sure if you